out of pocket. I'll never forget the day I got the earth-shattering news that would change my life forever. I was in the kitchen fixing dinner. My daughter Desiree came strolling through the door, holding her backpack with her head down. Her long braided hair covered her beautiful baby face. "What's wrong with you, baby?" I said, walking over and pushing the hair out of her face so I could see her butterscotch eyes. "You promise you won't get mad if I tell you?" she murmured, avoiding eye contact. "I promise that I'll always love and support you no matter what," I replied with a comforting smile. Desiree sighed as she looked up for the first time. Tears started to slide down her cheeks as she said, "I'm pregnant. How can I say this? There are no words to describe my level of disappointment at this child of mine. She's only 16 and in the 10th grade. She's got her whole life in front of her. How could she be so stupid as to let some little nappy-headed boy get her pregnant? And I always talk to her about safe sex and using condoms. But on the other hand, I was excited about being a grandma for the first time. As these thoughts swirled around in my head, I just walked over to Desiree. I didn't yell or give her a dirty look. I just pulled my baby into a hug and held her tight. "Don't worry, baby. We're gonna figure it out," I whispered in her ear as I peppered her with kisses on her forehead. Then my husband Anthony came home. I was lucky too because he was in a good mood. His day driving a truck for the city must have went smooth because he was all smiles when he strolled through the door. I let him get settled and made him his plate, turned on the game. With a full belly, I let him relax in his favorite chair while I brought him a cold beer. And by the time he got to the last drop, I hit him with it. "Some boy got my baby girl pregnant. What's his name, Regina?" Anthony snapped. He grabbed his gun and wanted to know where the boy lived. It took everything in me to calm this man down. Let's just say later that night, I let him work out all his frustrations on me between the sheets. An unexpected benefit, if I do say so myself. Anyway, over the next week, as we all calmed down, we worked out the details going forward. Desiree would continue to go to school, and we would put the baby in daycare. And the baby's father, Tyreek, would keep his distance, and my husband wouldn't kill him. 9 months later, Desiree gave birth to a handsome baby boy she named Devonte. Now, part of our agreement was that we get Desiree a car so she could pick him up from the daycare after school. And Desiree would be responsible for feeding, bathing, and changing him. And when I got home from work, I'd watch him while she did her homework. With her time consumed with her son, and because Anthony had put the fear of God in her little boyfriend, Desiree and Tyreek broke up. This routine went on for the next year. Now Desiree is a senior in high school. Her grades were good and she seemed to be back on track. Devonte was so cute and such a good baby that I couldn't help but to jump in more and more to help out, freeing up Desiree's time. And she started seeing another boy from her school, Braylon. Little did I know, she was skipping school and sneaking out at night to be with him. And I'll be damned, this girl gets pregnant again. 9 months later, she gave birth to a little girl, Rhonda, named after my late mother. I wanted to be mad at Desiree, bringing home another baby, more responsibility for her and us. But the moment I saw Rhonda's beautiful face, I fell in love with her. So our 3-bedroom house was now even more crowded. Anthony gave up his man cave and we turned the room into a nursery for the kids. Desiree graduated that May and got a full-time job selling phones at an AT&T store. Between the 40 hours she put in at work and taking care of her kids, that was her life. Another year had passed and the routine was pretty much the same as it was before. I was dropping them off in the morning on my way to work. Desiree would pick them up in the evening on her way home. We were potty training Devonte while watching Rhonda take her first steps. Then one day, Friday evening, I got a call at work. "Hello, Mrs. Regina. This is Stephanie from the daycare," she said when I answered my phone. "Hey, Stephanie, is there something wrong?" I asked, wondering why they were calling me this late. I was on the freeway stuck in traffic, and it was after 5 p.m. Desiree should have the kids already. I'm sorry to bother you, Mrs. Regina, but Desiree hasn't picked the kids up and we're about to close in 30 minutes, Stephanie said. Have you already called her? Yes, ma'am. She's not answering. Okay, give me about 20 minutes and I'll be there to get them. I hung up with her and immediately called Desiree. Nothing. She didn't answer as I called her again and again. I was concerned as I pulled up to get the kids. Once I got them home, fed and bathed, I continued to call. Nothing. Me and Anthony spent a sleepless night on the couch, staring at the front door, hoping she would come in any moment and we would rip her a new ass, but she never did. The next day, I stopped by her job to see if they heard anything. Nothing. I went by Braylon's house. He hadn't seen her in weeks. I called Tyreek. He hadn't heard from her in months. Now I was scared. Something must have happened to my baby. I immediately went to the police station to file a report. The police started combing the area looking for her. A day later, Desiree called me. Her voice trembled as she said, "Mama." "Oh, thank God you are all right," I replied, breathing a sigh of relief. "Where are you, girl? You okay?" I could hear her swallow hard through the phone as she said, "Mama, I can't do this anymore." "Do what, baby?" I said, sitting on the edge of my seat in anticipation. "I can't be a mother right now. It's too much. I didn't think it would be like this. I have no life. All I do is work and take care of kids. I can't go anywhere, meet anybody, or have new experiences like other people my age," Desiree explained. I chuckled. I said, "You should have thought about that before you started having sex. You made this bed, now you got to lay in it. And when it gets hard, roll your ass over." Desiree held the phone in silence for a few ticks before replying, "I'm sorry, Mama, but I'm leaving the kids with you and Daddy. Goodbye," she said, before hanging up the goddamn phone, and I never heard from that heifer again. We were furious at first. Having to put our lives and future plans on hold to raise more children was more than we bargained for. But we did it. We went to the courthouse and got guardianship over the kids, thinking she would eventually come to her senses. But she never did. After another year went by with no contact, we went to court again and adopted the children. That was 9 years ago. Devonte is now 12 and Rhonda is 11. They are both straight A students, good kids that are mannerable and do their chores. We couldn't be prouder of them. On the last day of school, they had a little graduation ceremony in the auditorium. We stood tall and clapped loudly when their names were called as they walked across the stage. As me and Anthony went over to congratulate them, there was Desiree. She was a woman now, dressed in heels and a nice red dress and black glasses that made her look more mature, smiling like nothing had happened. "Mama, Daddy," she said, strutting over like some model on a runway. She waved at us. We were in shock, to say the least. The kids looked at her like she was a stranger, because to them, she was. "What are you doing here?" I asked. "I came to see my babies graduate. Look at them, looking so cute," Desiree said, smiling at them. Devonte and Rhonda stood behind me, scared of the strange woman they've never met. "Come give your mama a hug," Desiree said, waving them over, but the kids didn't budge. I stepped in between Desiree and the kids as I said, "You should have popped up like this. You should have called first." "I got a call to see my own kids?" "Hell yes. They don't know you. And this ain't the time or place to have this discussion," I said with a scowl on my face. "Well, how about we go back to your place? We can talk there. Plus, I have someone I want you to meet," Desiree suggested, bubbling with excitement. So we go back to our house. She pulls up in a new Lincoln SUV with a white man behind the steering wheel. They walk up to the front porch as me and Anthony's jaws are on the floor. "Mama, Daddy, I want you to meet my husband, Bradley," Desiree said proudly as she stuck out her hand to show me her wedding ring. Bradley stepped forward and shook our hands as he said, "Pleasure to meet you both. Desiree has told me so much about you." "That's funny, 'cause she ain't never mentioned you," I responded as me and Anthony looked at each other in amazement. I looked Bradley up and down, checking this white man out. He was tall, had dark hair, a neatly tapered beard, dressed in a gray suit, and smelled like polo cologne. After shaking our hands, he awkwardly took a step back and looked at Desiree to continue the conversation. Desiree was all smiles as she added, "Bradley is a computer programmer from Seattle. We got married a year ago, and we live in Houston now." With my hands on my hips and my head tilted to the side, I locked eyes with Desiree as I said, "We haven't heard from your ass in 10 years, and this is how you show up?" "Well, yeah. I figured you'd be glad to see me in person," she said, spinning around like she's Cinderella after putting on the glass slipper. "Why did you choose now to show up after all this time?" I asked. "Well, I've got my life together. I got a good job as a paralegal. And me and Bradley talked about having a family. And we thought now would be a good time to get the kids and raise them with us as a family. Think again, Miss Thang. I'm glad you got your life together, but I don't know who you are anymore, and I certainly don't know this Bradley. You're not taking my kids anywhere," I snapped. "They are my kids. I left them with you to watch them, not become their mother. Because I'm their mother. And now I'm back, and I'm taking my kids." Desiree snapped as she stormed past me and into the house. While she went searching for the kids, I went into my bedroom to grab Anthony's .38 revolver from the nightstand. Desiree had the kids by the hands, dragging them toward the front door as they screamed. Anthony was on the phone calling the police. As Desiree took a step outside, I pointed my gun at her and shouted, "If you take another step with those kids, I'll blow your goddamn head off." Desiree turned and looked at me in shock as she said, "Mama, you would shoot me? Right where you stand, if you try to leave here with those kids." "I thought you said you would always love and support me," Desiree asked as her eyes started to tear up. Continuing to point the gun at her, I replied, "I'll always love you, but I can't support you after you turned your back on these kids. They are now my #1 priority, and I'm not letting you take these kids out of the only home they've ever known." "But Mama, these are my kids. My kids. I'm the one that gave them life. You gave all that up when you walked out the door and never looked back. Me and your father adopted them. I told you before, you made your own bed, and now you have to lay in it. This is what it looks like when that bed gets hard." Just then, the police rolled up in every direction. I dropped my gun and told them what happened. Desiree pleaded her case too, but at the end of the day, we had legal custody and she didn't. And she just couldn't accept that. She wouldn't leave, and so it hurt my heart to watch my daughter taken away in handcuffs. The end.
Thanks for watching. If you like the content, please hit like, subscribe, and share.